In this video, I'm going to be ranking the top 5 best budget cards at each position right now in my team. So my top 5 best budget point guards, top 5 best budget shooting guards, small forwards, power forwards, and centers as well. I do consider a budget card to be any card under 30,000 MT, but I would assume most of these cards are probably going to be 10, 5, 15, 20, 25,000 MT, with a couple being in that 30,000 MT range. So yeah, I'll just be going over the top 5 best budget cards at each position. So starting off with the top 5 best budget point guards, I think at the number 1 spot is actually going to be this Titans Ben Simmons. He drops so much in price. He's below 30,000, 6'11" at point guard, 7-foot wingspan, is still easily the best defensive point guard in game because of his size and his player model. His defensive stats and badges are still top tier for defense, with a 90 block, 95 steal, 97 lateral quickness, 97 perimeter, 95 interior defense. He's still super quick and athletic for a point guard. He's got 97 speed, 97 acceleration, 95 vertical, 92 strength. The only big flaw with Ben Simmons is probably his 3-ball rating, his badges, and his jump shot, because everything else for a point guard is top tier on Ben Simmons, just not that great of a jump shot and a little bit low of a 3-ball, which is probably the not that bad. Like 75 3-ball is not that bad if you do have a good coach. For example, let's just say you're running a Mark Jackson, you know, you can get his 3-ball up to an 85 with a coach and a shoe boost, and that's perfectly fine. It just comes down to the fact that he has no shooting badges, which you can add some to, but it's mainly just a jump shot that is a little bit baited and a little bit slow. But I still think Ben Simmons is the best budget point guard currently in my team. At the number 2 spot, I do have the Dark Matter Man Thompson. You guys most likely know, if you've watched my channel over the past couple weeks, Amen Thompson's been in like every single ranking video, every single team, because he's just so good at the point guard position for a budget price of around 10 to 15, maybe 20,000 MT at most. But he's such a good point guard. He can do everything at a high level. He can defend. He's got a great jump shot with the D-Rose base Steph Curry upper on very quick timing. He's got amazing dribble sigs, end game dunk packages, and also perfect defensive tendencies. At the number 3 spot is probably going to be one of the most expensive budget cards in this video, and that is going to be the Dark Matter Luka. Right now on Xbox, he's going for about 25 to 30k for his interdimensional version, and he's going to be a 6'7" point guard, 6'8" wingspan. But we know Luka is just going to be on your court to score the basketball and be one of the best offensive point guards in the game, with the KPJ base, Rudy Gay upper on very quick timing, and then he also does have the Trey Sigs, the Trey fade, and some of the best dunk packages in my team, with the quick drops off one and the front clutches as well. So solid defender in Luka, but like I said, mainly going to be on your court to be a really good offensive point guard. And for a budget price tag, I do think he's going to be the 3rd best budget point guard currently in my team. At the number 4 spot, I do have Anthony Black, and then at number 5, I got Ron Artest. Very similar point guards where they're going to be great defenders. Anthony Black, I'm still not sure about his jump shot, right? It's the John Stockton base and the Rudy Gay upper on very quick timing. I'm just not too confident with that release compared to a card like Marco Fultz, or compared to a card like Ron Artest, who has the Marco Fultz base. And what is Ron Artest's upper? I just like his jump shot more. What is his upper again? The Rudy Gay upper. Yeah, that makes sense. So we think he's got a better jump shot than Anthony Black. Black might be a little bit quicker on the court, better dribble sig. So I think that one's very close, you know, for a budget point guard between Anthony Black and Ron Artest. But yeah, that's going to be my top 5 best budget point guards currently in my team. Now to go on to the top 5 best budget shooting guards. For the number 1 and 2 spot, these cards are so ridiculously good for being in that budget price range, and that is going to be Dark Matter Radiant Tim Thomas and Dark Matter Radiant T-Mac. The fact that these two cards are under 30k is kind of ridiculous. Like, you got T-Mac, who's still one of the better offensive shooting guards in the game, 6'8" at the 2, 7'2" wingspan. Still has a great jump shot with the KPJ base, Oscar upper on quick timing, you know, pretty solid dribble sigs, you know, not the greatest defender or defensive tendencies in the world, but the card is mainly going to be on your court for offense. And then you got Tim Thomas, who is a 6'10" 2 guard, 7'2" wingspan. He literally moves like a guard in game, like a smaller guard. He's so fast on the court. He's got such a quick jump shot, and is still one of the better 3-hunting 2 guards in the game once again. And it's crazy that he's a budget price tag of only about 25k. Now for the number 3 spot, the 3rd best budget shooting guard, I do think is going to be AK-47. Completely opposite playstyles to Tim Thomas and Tracy McGrady. He's going to be there for defense, 6'9" at the shooting guard position, 7-foot wingspan. Like I said, probably one of the best defensive shooting guards in the game for a budget price tag. 98 block, 98 steal, 98 perimeter, 98 interior defense, almost every single Hall of Fame defensive badge in the game, and AK still has a very knockdown jump shot and great dribble sigs as well. And then for the number 4 and 5 spot, it's a really close debate in my opinion between two of the next Dark Matters in Asar Thompson and also the Raptors legend Grady Dick. I think it's a very close debate. Asar Thompson, he's quick, he's athletic, he can jump out the gym, and then you got Grady Dick, who's got a knockdown release, good dribble sigs, and he's 6'8" at shooting guard with a great player model. So these are going to be my top 5 best budget shooting guards. Now to go on to the top 5 best budget small forwards, at the number 1 spot, you got to give it to Kevin Garnett. So right now on Xbox, I'm seeing him for just around 30,000 MT. So he's on the more expensive side of a budget card, but I still think he's considered a budget card because of his price. 6'11" at small forward, 7'2" wingspan. I would say is easily the best budget small forward in the game because of his defense and his size at the small forward position. One of the best small forward defenders in the game. He's quick, he's athletic, he's actually got a really good jump shot as well with the LaMelo Ball base, KG upper on very quick timing. He's got great dribble sigs, he's got good dunk packages, you know, could use some better defensive tendencies, but all around KG an absolute beast at small forward. At the number 2 spot, I do have Karl Malone. I think for his price, only about 10k, he just does everything so well for a small forward. Like, there's no real flaws with Karl Malone. He's a great defender, he can finish at the rim, he can play make, he can rebound, he's quick, he's strong, he's athletic, he can knock down the 3 ball with a great jump shot to Marco full space, Tim Duncan upper on very quick timing, and does have some solid dribble sigs, but then almost perfect defensive tendencies. So all around, Karl Malone a beast for 10k. At the number 3 spot, I do have Galaxy Big Z, and you guys probably know the only reason why he's going to be in this top 5 is because of his height at the small forward position. The fact that he's 7'3", can play small forward, 7'6" wingspan, a great player model, and he just opens up the doors and possibilities to running so many different lineups in the game, having some smaller cards around him because he can guard most power forwards and a lot of centers in game, and he's only about 20-25k. So I do think Big Z is the 3rd best budget small forward. At the number 4 spot, I do have Dark Matter Jonathan Isaac, mainly just because of his defense and size at small forward. 6'11" at the 3, 7'2" wingspan. Still is probably one of the better on-ball defenders in the game for a small forward. He's great on the perimeter, you know, amazing defensive tendencies, all at a 97. And then still a pretty decent jump shot and very solid dribble sigs. Would love to see on his next card, if he does get a next card, he can play shooting guard and gets a better jump shot. I think this Jonathan Isaac could be a lot better, but still a top 5 budget small forward. And then to round out the top 5 best budget small forwards in the game, I do think is going to be the next Dark Matter Jarris Walker. Just a really good two-way small forward, very similar to a Karl Malone, can do everything on the court at a very high level. But now to go on to the top 5 best budget power forwards in the game, at the number 1 spot, easily has to be Dark Matter Kristaps, kind of like KG and maybe Luka, right around that 30,000 MT mark. Right now he's about 30,000 MT on Xbox, and he's a 7'3" power forward, 7'6" wingspan. So amazing height for a budget power forward. Like, there's no real other budget power forwards in the game that kind of get to that height and wingspan level, and then also can shoot that well of a 3 ball. Like, he's only missing 4 Hall of Fame shooting badges, has such a good jump shot, 95 3 ball. But yeah, really good stretch 4 in Kristaps, and a card that's got the size and the player model and the wingspan to guard most power forwards. At the number 2 spot, though, is going to be another amazing budget power forward for his price, and that's going to be the Dark Matter Radiant T-Mac that dropped a ton in price because of the endgame D-Rob coming out, who was like, you know, is like 350k, 300k. So now this Radiant T-Mac is down to like 15-20,000 MT, so easily going to be a top 2 budget power forward in the game. At the number 3 spot, I think you got to go Marc Gasol. Can just do everything at a power forward. He can do everything at the power forward position you need. He can defend, he can rebound, he can knock down threes, and for only 5k, one of the better budget power forwards in my team. At the number 4 spot, I do got the Dark Matter Dirk, just because of his offensive ability and his ability to stretch out the floor. He's 7'1" at the power forward position, 7'3" wingspan, and like I said, one of the fastest power forward jump shots in the game, and one of the better jump shots with the B Elites at base, Tim Duncan upper on very quick timing. He's just such a good stretch 4 for a budget price. And then I do think to round out my top 5 budget power forwards in the game, I do think is going to be Triple J, a really good defensive power forward, a card that grabs a lot of rebounds, can defend at a high level, and I actually don't hate his jump shot. But now going on to the final position, the top 5 best budget centers in the game, in my opinion. At the number 1 spot and number 2, it's going to be the exact same cards. You guys probably know the center position, when we're talking about budget cards, literally has nobody. Like, besides Kristaps and D-Rob, like, you got Sabonis at 3, who I guess is pretty good. I'm not the biggest fan of his jump shot. Not that Sabonis, I'm talking about Arvydas. He's 7'3", 7'6" wingspan, so he's got good size, a good player model. He's just not the fastest center and doesn't have the greatest jump shot, but there's no real good budget centers. The only two that come to mind that are somewhat close is Mark Eden and Ralph Sampson, but those cards are like 45, 50,000 MT, so they can't be considered a budget center. So that's why Sabonis, D-Rob, and Kristaps got to be here, because then you go down to like Brook Lopez, who's an okay center in the game, just a little bit undersized. And then you also got Marc Gasol, who once again, more of a power forward. If I was playing Marc Gasol, I'd recommend getting him. So if you guys are trying to, pick up budget centers, instead of going after like a Brook Lopez or a Marc Gasol for center or a Sabonis, I would try to save up for a Mark Eden and a Ralph Sampson. I just think it's a smarter idea to save up some MT, spend a little bit more, and go ahead and get Dark Matter Ralph Sampson and Dark Matter Mark Eden, as they are giant centers, both 7'4", with really good player models and able to guard some of the best centers in the game. But yeah, these are going to be my top 5 best budget cards in my team. So my top 5 best budget point guard, top 5 best budget shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and centers as well. But let me know in the comment section down below if you guys would change anything about my top 5s. Let me know down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.